You gonna watch Sandman? Why do people keep bringing up Sandman? That trailer looked horrible. Did it come out or something? Jealous women. Jealous women, what's that? I have no idea. Men going their own way is what MG Tao stands for. MG Tao Guide to Retiring on 200K in Southeast Asia. Alright, this really piqued my interest.
I found your thoughts on the struggle between alpha, beta, and sigma personalities very interesting.
Whoa, what a start. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. That actually sounds like the Joker.
And consistent with my experience. That aside, what are your thoughts on female jealousy towards men?
This kind of content is poppin'. Like men motivational shit and like alpha, beta, sigma, the astrology for men stuff. Like this shit is blowing up.
Yes, many women are jealous of the successful independent man. What makes him even more attractive to them in a sick and twisted way is that they're happy for him and jealous of him at the same time.
Oh boy.
They want to be with him, but they also want to destroy him simultaneously because they're jealous of him.
Oh
If
god,
you're
they're after
successfully
us.
single, she will see your peace of mind and get jealous that your attention is being given to something other than a woman. Women are also the most logical and rational when they are with a man. You're whole on your own, and she wants to make you unwhole, and in the process, she makes herself whole by getting you in her hole. Many women I've known
What
have
is
also seemingly
happening?
taken great satisfaction.
I would wager a guess the women he's known can be counted on one hand. Why is he talking like he's some kind of professor giving a lecture in front of a high school class?
I think there's also another part of them that knows they'll never be able to do, experience, or even achieve as much as we do if we're single and not tied down to a woman.
A woman could never achieve what I do, talking about women on YouTube, acting like I'm the authority and the expert. A woman couldn't do that. They don't have the brain capabilities that Sandman does. They're just not to his intellectual level.
That's why you hear BS statements like, behind every great man is an even greater woman. If we achieve greatness, then we can't even take credit for it, because it's the guy's mother that raised him into the man he is today, or his wife or girlfriend supporting him that made him great to begin with. They can't accept the fact
What
that they
am I
didn't
listening
actually
to?
have part in making something that's great. Of course, a guy that goes his own way for many years and sees one success multiply on top of another, when women aren't in his life, will figure out that behind every strong, successful man is free time away from women.
Oh, I see. Okay. So the lesson is get away from women, because they'll drag you down. They'll hinder you from reaching your optimal efficiency. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes... I don't even... Why even make a video on that lesson? The whole audience is people that don't have women around them. Is it like reaffirmation that it's good? Like, hey, it's good to be alone. I guess.
But let me first tell everyone about today's sponsor, the MGTOW Book Collection Part 2. Whether you're getting camel toe in Cambodia, banging babes in burqas in Turkey,
Oh my
or
God.
taking Polaroids of ladyboys in Thailand, Luca Vendetti has a series of books to make you live the dream.
Oh
in
my
addition to
Lord.
his classic, How to Retire on 200K in Southeast Asia.
This is so fucking sad. Oh my god, what do the comments say? I mean, hey, it's a good hustle. Good for Sandman. 200K just appealing to the sad guys down here. Good on him. Though I don't know if I'd ever call him a bro. This guy sounds like he's the leader of the anime club. Like, he wouldn't be my definition of, like, a bro, just by the sound of him.
Sponsor link is down below. Anyways, now back to spiteful, jealous women putting up roadblocks in your life because you don't have a wife.
He sounds like this guy. Do you guys remember the old Jelly Belly guy? Jelly Belly. That guy? What was it? The Jelly Rat guy. What the fuck was Jelly Rat? I think it was. Yeah, Jelly Belly Pet Rat.
Hello, this is Run for the QB.
So I'm guessing this guy went from this to talking about why it's good to not be around women. Like, it was your decision. You don't want women, which is why you don't have women, I guess.
That men, simply because they are men, have things like old boys clubs and other secret support networks to help them make it in life. Instead of being just...
This is to all the men in the secret support networks. If you're paying to be a part of that network, it's a bad network. Like, that's not a network. That you got scammed. Yeah, if your support network is charging you for being single books or whatever, you fucked up. Time to leave that network. No such thing.
Back in early 2014, when my channel was growing quickly and would become the biggest channel in MGTOW, people attacked me, even though for the majority of men I was providing some value. Jealousy also has a lot to do with dominance hierarchies. People are like crabs in the bucket. They always want to bring others down to their level. Why do you think that women are against every group of men in the manosphere seeking out freedom from women?
They
want us in relationships or chasing relationships.
That's so cute.
Which would be the equivalent of a crab that's free looking for a bucket to fall into, where he would be held down. They attack us through things like demonetization, throttling, and shaming language. Again, it's not just women, but also gamma males that infest the tech companies.
Ooh, wait. What is a gamma male? That's a new one. I haven't kept up with the astrological signs in the men going their own way community for a little bit. What's the gamma male? What do they do? Give me a rundown of that species. The Hulk? No, the way he used it, it wouldn't be about the Hulk. It'd be like I guess like a tech guy? A nerd, perhaps? I don't know. Suck their own dick on a daily basis? Well, wouldn't Sandman be a gamma then, if that's the definition? He literally just sucked his own cock, talking about how he was providing value and didn't understand why he was getting hate. Gamma male is one step down from the omega male. Oh, okay. So it's like a pre-digi-evolution of the omega male. Okay, I gotcha. So diet omega. Alright, thank you. That makes sense. That actually would make sense. That's wrong? Oh, that's not right? When was there an Omega Male? Omega Male was introduced like 2 seasons ago. That was like 2021, early 2021. It's below Alpha and Beta, but above Delta. I don't know the Delta males. Now I think you're making terms up. Sandman's the expert, so he used Gamma. It must be an established scientific kingdom for some men to fall into. From what I understand, Gamma males are bottom feeders who don't try and improve their life. You know what? I'm going to accept that definition. I don't know if it's correct, but I'm going to work under that assumption. It would fit into the context he used it here.
That look at men out there that are successful and more happy than they are, and they basically think they need to be humbled and beaten down in life, the way they have. Even the alpha, betas, and deltas are jealous because sigma males are free to do whatever they want with zero sense of self-consciousness. So they will try and take you down a few pegs so they feel better about themselves. The jealous types are constantly stuck having to calculate their rank in the social hierarchy constantly, thus comparing themselves to others instead of just doing what's right for themselves. If you want to avoid these sorts of...
What is this picture supposed to be? I don't get it. She's dangling a spaghetti noodle? Does this trigger something in the Sigma male brain? Like, I want the noodle? I'm mad about the noodle? I don't know what this means. Maybe I'm a gamma male. I don't get it. What? Can someone break this... Can they break this down for me? It's hair? That's the thickest hair of all time. So is it another woman's hair and she's accusing him of cheating? But he's explaining, babe, I'm not cheating, I'm a Sigma male?
Because after 5 to 10 years of financial freedom, your self-confidence goes up, and you want to share your experiences with like-minded people. Plus, if you do things like travel on epic trips, people might hear of them and wonder how you can afford them.
I do love traveling on epic trips. Can't have a girl with me.
They realize that you're hiding your
fucking
status.
weighs me down.
When I would film travel videos on my Cool Buildings channel, I would go to locations and ask to do interviews and film some cutaways. First women, they didn't care when the channel was brand new. And not so...
God damn it, now I have to see that channel. He has his own channel travel for Cool Buildings? What does that even mean? Wow, for someone that's all about, like, you don't need women, it's all about being big man, he follows Dua Lipa immediately. That's not alpha stuff. I like Dua Lipa, but I'm not an alpha. Where's your travel channel? This is just a casual reminder not to go harass this channel, or any channel I ever talk about. If you do that, you're a piece of shit. I don't condone it. Don't do it. Single mothers wrecking soy-ciety. That is pretty fucking awesome. Jesus Christ. Do men going their own way need to leave the West behind? The great exodus of the gamma males and sigmas. Oh boy. Oh goodness. The Bible foretold of that. Oh, here we go. Sandman 2. Well, that didn't work.
But once the channel was up and running and filled with dozens of locations, and they saw the places I traveled to in the past, they started becoming less accommodating. Unless it was one of the ones they were doing it because they were either desperate for their location needing publicity, or they were just attention whores. Many of the younger women I asked at such locations, they were seemingly jealous of the places I visited because they were usually working second or third rate tourist attractions and were probably not thrilled that I was free to travel about and they weren't.
What is that thought process? They were jealous of my epic travels. So when they saw how much I traveled, they started treating me like shit because they were jealous of my epic travels. Good lord. I want to see that channel. What? How epic are these travels? Did you go to the moon? Like, how cool could it possibly be? I'm just going to go ahead and squash this theory right now, Sandman. I can't find your channel after desperately searching for it because you didn't even link it properly. I don't think the women or anyone else around you is that jealous. I don't think they've seen it. Traveling my own way.
Hi everyone,
Alone.
Sandman here.
The
Welcome
way
to
I
my
like
Traveling
it.
My Own Way series, where I actually thought I'd be sharing with everyone my daily breakdown for my trip out west. This is the first part of 16 videos of my solo road trip from May the 3rd all the way to the 19th.
What is it? Solo, I can't believe it.
These videos are in addition to my daily dose of red pills, and I'm actually labeled them TMOW, or Traveling My Own Way, next to them on the channel.
My
If you don't
daily
like
dose
them, then
of
you don't have
red
to watch
pills.
them.
Fuck
I'm
me.
basically doing this as an experiment to see.
I see why they'd be jealous now. That was fucking nuts.
So
I'm
they
jealous.
basically put up passive-aggressive roadblocks. Jealous women will try and sabotage your business, and once you've dealt with enough of them, you start to learn how to act.
And you've
just
dealt with
accept
too
it
many, I'd
and
say.
work around them.
Women just
Some
can't
people
stop.
are jealous that I haven't had a real technical job in my entire life, and have basically made my own way. They don't see the triumph and victory snatched away by some snatch on YouTube demonetizing my channel.
Right.
I've shown women my travel
course.
videos, and they look at me and think I'm poor. And then they ask me how can I afford to travel because I don't have a full-time job.
Let me pump the brakes a little bit. You show women your travel videos. Hey, harlot, come here. Look at my phone. This is my Traveling My Own Way series. Look, I went to Las Vegas here. Nobody does this. Nobody does this. This is my way. This was a solo trip to... Look at this. I stayed at the, this resort with a pool. Okay. Oh, jealous. Okay. Yep. Walking away. She's jealous. Of course. Yep. She can't handle a man without a... Oh, boy. Oh, goodness. Not again.
The reason they're envious or jealous and suffering is because it all comes back down to hierarchy.
Oh,
Most
boy.
people want to be on top of it
God.
and hoard all the best experiences and physical goods for themselves.
This is the worst part about it. I have no doubt in my mind this guy could have been in a relationship. But he got so lost in this sauce, he made it his entire identity, and now does nothing but repulse women. Like, he just talked about how he shows them his travel videos. Like, it's just one of those things, man. They don't realize they are their own worst enemy. Hearing these things keeps you locked in this endless cycle and spending money on the How to Retire on 200K in Southeast Asia Men Going Their Own Way guide. Fucking rough. Tragic, even.
Look no further at women's jealousy of men than the makeup and clothing industries.
Oh,
in
God.
almost all species, the male is the more physically attractive half.
Oh, no.
But with humans, the women use whatever needs necessary to make themselves more visually appealing, because they're probably jealous of men's natural good looks, without makeup and bright-colored clothing.
Just be gay then, man. Like, you don't have to put up this front. Just be gay. Like, you don't have to go on this, like, men are so much better without women. I don't like women. Women fucking suck. They're always jealous of my travel videos. Just be gay. Like, it's not that hard. Like, embrace it. This guy is just battling insecurity, like, his entire fucking life. He's been doing this since 2014. Oh my god.
That's the point our species has gone to. The men provide women financial resources to attempt to outdo us when it comes to attraction. Men invented bras to keep the girls on their chest from sagging to their knees too quickly. Go to the zoo and see the great apes, and you'll basically be drawn to the male ones because they look better. The female ones just look too
What?
young.
What? I didn't. There's no way I heard that correctly. I just didn't hear that right. There's no way.
Their chest from sagging to their knees too quickly. Go to the zoo and see the great apes, and you'll basically be drawn to the male ones because they look better. The female ones just look too damn plain.
Bro, this guy needs to be on a list. Go to the zoo and check out the great apes. You'll like the male ones. Dude goes to the zoo to look at animals sexually? What is wrong with you?
That they want to turn themselves into men with their actions, careers, and experiences. Is that jealousy coming out, or is it just part of the female chameleon routine? I'll let you decide. They also want to compete with the men at the top of the male hierarchy, and only really want the alpha males and their lieutenants to partner with. Most of the deltas, gammas, and omegas are of no interest to them. They also want the sigmas because they're...
I owe an apology to the guy in chat who brought up delta males earlier. I thought you were making the term up. I guess it's a real one. Sorry. You were right. I guess I might be too behind on the times here. I didn't know delta males got brought into the equation.
Jealous of our independence and lack of dependence from the validation of others. Thanks again to Cam for the donation as well as topic. Don't forget to smash the like button the way that women love when you smash them because it means you'll also smash your hopes and dreams to smithereens. Bang the bell and check out the mystery link. Follow me on BitChute, Twitter, and Facebook to get tomorrow's video today. Subscribe to me on Minds.
I have to be mishearing this guy.
To get the video for the day after tomorrow. Description. Or you can do an hour-long coaching chat with the Sandman for $45 US.
An hour-long coaching session. Oh my god. 40... Oh boy. Oh my fucking god. Oh, that's painful just to listen to. Don't forget to smash that like button, just like women like when you smash them, and also smash your hopes and dreams to smithereens. So that tells me a lot of things. He's never had sex, so he tries to shame anyone that has, trying to frame it as a terrible thing to have sex. And yet he's trying to be the Sigma male leader of the men going their own way movement. Like, this guy is nothing but, like, red flags. Wow. I am not booking a fucking coaching session with this guy. That'd be the worst $45 I ever spent in my life. It wouldn't even be entertaining. I'd just feel bad. I would legitimately feel bad. At the end of the day, it's not like I hate this guy. I don't. I feel fucking bad for him. My heart breaks for people like this. This is clearly a guy who was a young man back in 2013, 2014, and found this men going their own way movement, which was big back then in the R red pill section, and being lonely and desperate really bought into it and has paid hand over fist for the books and now just regurgitates everything that he thought was the truth. So he's caught in this endless loop of being a perpetually miserable, sad, lonely guy. Like, I just think it's fucking sad. This has been one of the most pathetic men going their own way lectures I've ever seen. I'll give him credit, though. He's using his actual voice as opposed to text-to-speech like all the other ones, so...
Thanks for taking your daily dose of red pills, and remember, a red pill a day keeps the women that hate successful men so much that they want to take away that success by sleeping with them and having sex with them away. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh my god.
And cheers.
Again, that tells me he's never had sex, so he continues to vilify it. Is he like a public virgin? Like, he publicly has mentioned being a virgin? I imagine he has. Like, there's no way he hasn't, right? Because it's pretty obvious. I'm not using it as an insult. Like, he is very obviously making it clear that he has not had sex. So that is why he continues to shame those that have.
Dear Sandman, this donation is a big thank you for your video called The Cock Carousel. Your video gave me an argument to throw in the faces of people. The thing is, almost no man cares about that. And why do females shame me all the time for not jumping around in the haystack? What's your thought about this? And
That immediately tells me he wrote this. What lady is going to say, jumping around in the haystack? That's in men going their own way term. He absolutely wrote this himself.
I don't have any children, but if I had a daughter, and it was you, Lady D, then this is what I would tell you. At this point in your life, you've been with maybe 1 or 2 men tops, and you still have the ability to bond with a man. Those women that are telling you to be promiscuous have lost that ability in themselves,
It's gone.
most likely.
Yeah, it's gone.
And they're emotionally damaged beyond repair. And now they're shaming you for being a virgin. You're probably laughing to yourself and thinking, that's absolutely impossible. But it's not true, because I'm living proof that guys like that exist. Every woman that I've ever slept with ended up pressuring me to be with her because she probably felt insecure about herself in the first place.
No, they fucking didn't. Okay, so he's not even being honest with his subscribers. Okay. I was hoping this was going to be like a heart-to-heart, like, well, Lady D, I myself am a virgin, but he's very clearly still putting up this front. Okay. What a wild rabbit hole. All from looking up a Netflix show that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like in the first place. This morning I was making myself a peanut butter and honey sandwich, which I do most mornings since it's the breakfast of champions. It'll make you big and strong for a growing boy like me. However, when I was putting the honey down after pouring it on the bread, I made a fatal miscalculation and I dropped the bread. I fumbled it. Everything went slow motion as I watched it hit the floor. I was upset, devastated. My heart was broken, day nearly ruined. However, it wasn't the saddest thing that's happened to me today. The saddest thing that's happened today is me watching this video about a woman who's cheated on her husband so many times that she's convinced him it's actually a good thing and healthy, and now they're swingers. Let me make it clear that I'm not the relationship police here. If they're happy, all power to them, but it doesn't make it any less goofy with the video they put out there about it. So let's go ahead and go over it.
This is Christina. She fell in love with Mark.
I don't know why the narrator hates Mark so much. They just like reluctantly introduce him. They just let out like a big sigh, a huge pause. Christina fell in love with Mark, I guess. I don't know what happened here. They were so enthusiastic to introduce Christina, but when they got to Mark, it was like a balloon deflating there. It was like a fucking funeral service. They were like, hey, Christina, wee, and then Mark.
Despite being in love with Mark, Christina also found she had eyes for other men.
I kept cheating so much and I just couldn't stop.
When I did find out, it was very devastating. I was heartbroken, to say the least, about it. I started thinking, oh, maybe I'm not good enough for her.
I just kept cheating and I couldn't stop. There was just a cock demon inside of me. I'd be walking down the street and I'd trip and fall onto more penis. It was an uncontrollable urge. It was like a car with a brick on the gas if that car was barreling towards more wieners. And then Mark's like, yeah, I got cheated on. It didn't feel great. You know, it wasn't like an S-tier experience. I was heartbroken. Didn't feel amazing.
Rather than let the cheating break the pair up, they decided to explore new experiences as a couple.
I just said, let's try this swinging thing.
This is where it gets pretty manipulative in my eyes. So she's been cheating on him a lot. And now she's finally dumping the cold water on him, taking the training wheels off and saying, look, why don't we just try this whole swinging thing out so that way I can feel less guilty about cheating on you since now you can do it too. And it feels like Mark convinced himself it's a good idea because he can stay with her in this whole swinging thing. But it wasn't like a mutual decision between the two of them. She kind of like led him to it because she was going to keep cheating regardless. So Mark just goes along with it, it feels like. I'm not a fucking relationship expert. I'm not a couples counselor.
Yeah, so we've been together for 17 years, and we've been married for 15 years. Yeah, we are soulmates. We finish each other's sentences from like day one. Yeah, so I've struggled with monogamy my whole life. Ever since I was a little girl and had boyfriends in grade school, I would have multiple boyfriends at the same time. And then I cheated on him with like 4 guys. I was always open and honest about it. And just monogamy is not natural for me.
Well, that's just dandy. Thank God. At least she's honest about it, because if she was cheating and lying, that'd be a disgusting combination. That'd be awful. You know, you can't even be really mad at her at this point. Like, hey, Mark, I cheated on you again today with another dude. It's like, hey, at least you told me. So now I don't feel as bad. Thank you for that, Christina. You're such an angel. I also love the way that she presents this like it's something that's beyond her control. Just like this almost illness that she's battling, this compulsion to cheat. Whereas other people are struggling with like drugs or alcohol or something. She just struggles with constantly cheating on Mark.
When I found out, it was very devastating for me because at that time, I could have been monogamous with her the rest of my life because I loved her like that.
It was hard for him to accept that, like, that I was only in love with him and only wanted to be with him forever, but yet wanting other men. It took a little while for you to like really comprehend that.
It was tough at first, but now I get it and I'm totally on board and I love it now.
I don't know what's so hard to understand. It's such a simple concept. She loves you, you're her soulmate, but she's also fucking other dudes. Like, what? Don't be selfish, you can't share? Huh? What's wrong with you, pussy? You insecure? You're not gonna let other dudes fuck your wife? Okay, big guy. Again, this is another giant red flag to me about manipulation because it feels like he knows it's wrong. Like, it's hard to wrap your head around it, Mark, because it's fucking wrong. But she is convincing him that she loves him so much, but just can't help but find other men too. Now I want to make it clear, I understand there's a lot of relationships where they also have other partners outside of like the two of them, they're not monogamous, and that's fine if the couples like mutually arrived at that. In this case, from everything I've seen in the video, it seems like Christina pushed Mark to be okay with it, as opposed to something that they both were on the same page about. I also love the way at the end he says, I get it now, I'm totally on board, I love it now. It sounds like he's being held hostage. That was like an actual, like, fucking prisoner of war there. Christina, it seems like she must have had like a gun on her lap pointing at him, like, hey, fucking say the line, please. This is a YouTube video, we need to look good here. Say it! Say it! Say you love it!
For me, it was just, I just desired to be with other men. And then I would feel super guilty about it. And I had done it with every relationship. I try to be monogamous. I am not the happiest person in the world. I'm kind of like bitchy, so.
You are very bitchy, yeah.
I know. He sees such a difference now that I'm not monogamous. Like, he sees, like, I'm just so much happier.
2020, right?
Yeah, you wish you would have done this years ago, right?
Right.
Jesus Christ, it's like a commercial for a Snickers bar. You're not you when you're not cheating on your husband. Honey, you're acting so crazy today. Honey, why are you being such a bitch? You know what? I'm gonna call up my friend to come fuck you to calm you down a little bit. Or, better yet, why not just go to the local hockey team and let them spit roast you in the locker room? And that way you can come home a little bit more mellow, okay? You're acting nuts, and I'm gonna need you to go have some sex with some other dudes so that way we can have a more healthy relationship. It's so, like, weird, the way he just goes along with it. She's like, oh, I bet you wish you had done this years ago, right? Yeah. Oh, it's so much better now. Even though, like, his face kind of says the whole story, it doesn't seem like he's really happy about it, honestly. But again, I'm not the expert here. Maybe he does love it. I couldn't tell you. But either way, it doesn't seem like he was the one that arrived to this decision naturally. It was something that was kind of forced upon him if he wanted to stay with Christina, whom he seems to really love.
Our family and friends, they basically all found out that we were swingers through TikTok. Never once has one of our friends of 26 years said, I saw that you guys were swingers and I accept you for it. They all want to follow my TikTok, but yet you've been my best friend for 26 years. You've ghosted me.
Who gives a fuck? It's not your friend's responsibility to sign off on your relationship decisions. You shouldn't be looking or demanding them give you a green light or a thumbs up, a pat on the ass, like, hey, good game. When's my turn with your wife, Mark? Like, they don't have that responsibility to you. Sure, they can give advice or input or whatever, but to be mad at them for not signing off on it is super weird, and to be, like, angry at them for not, like, going out of their way to be like, oh, we totally accept this. They don't care that much, I imagine. If my best friend came up to me and was like, Charlie, I'm a swinger and a cuck. In fact, I'm just a cuck. I'm not a swinger. I don't get any action on the side. I just let my wife fuck other dudes. I'd be like, all right, bro. I mean, that's fine. So when are we playing Elden Ring? I also do appreciate that apparently the news broke to all their friends and family through TikTok. That sounds about right. TikTok is such a wild and wacky space.
It's ridiculous how, like, nervous I get about going TikTok live. 27,000 of my followers are on right now, which is pretty good for 10:30 a.m. Hello, TikTok live. How are my people doing? Mark, answer if he gets jealous or not.
At the time that I got jealous, she actually had a side piece, and mine
Two of
was
them.
kind of like ghosting me and acting a little crazy, and so I just cut it off with her. So I had no side piece, but she did, and it kind of made me a little bit jealous.
Why even jump in there and interject? No, actually, Mark, you stupid fucking idiot. You goddamn Neanderthal, I had 2 side pieces. It's like, why even throw that in there? So they go on TikTok Live, which is another fucking weird space. TikTok Lives are a lawless wasteland. So they're on TikTok Live answering frequently asked questions. The question they're answering here was about, do you guys get jealous? She's like, nah, I don't get jealous. Why the fuck would I? Mark's like, well, actually, I did kind of get jealous one time. She's like, no, I was 2 dudes, and it was silly for you to get jealous, you goofball. So the whole thing is just a little odd.
Swinging has changed our lives for the best. I mean, not only are we happier, we're healthier, mentally, physically. We don't allow toxicity in our life. Right. We only allow positivity in our life.
We're active all the time.
We're active. It's made us just more attracted to each other. It's made our love deeper.
Yeah, if you say so, Christina. At the end of the day, if they're both happy, good for them. But it really does feel like Christina got the better end of this bargain. She got to have her cake and eat it too. She never compromised. She never learned how to just love Mark and only Mark, even though he himself was committed entirely to just Christina. He was the one that had to compromise in a big way to convince himself that the swinging lifestyle is great. And even during that, he mentions like some jealousy. And it's just, you know, it doesn't feel like it was something that they arrived to together. It feels like something that was forced upon the poor guy. But again, I'm not the expert. Maybe they're happy, super into it, you know, good for them, whatever. Still a very silly video that I wanted to talk about, and that's about it. So yeah. When it comes to sad, pathetic things on the internet, I feel like I've seen it all. I'm like the Oracle from the Matrix. Nothing surprises me anymore. Yet, today I bore witness to something so tragically embarrassing on Twitch that it's making me reflect, and it's put me in a very somber state. I feel as though I'm at a funeral service. A streamer invited one of her mods to hang out with her in real life, and then did a stream that was an hour and 25 minutes of agonizing, miserable, inhumane torture. Waterboarding would have felt more pleasant for this mod, I imagine. She spends the entire stream basically just insulting him. He is the butt of every one of her jokes, and she kind of just reduces him to a spittoon for her and her chat to spit in and make fun of. Now, I think punching bags get treated with more respect than this guy did, and it only got worse the longer the stream went on. She had a donation goal where if the stream gave her $500, she would kiss him.
Oh god, fuck.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, one more shot, guys.
Dang.
If you ever want to get drunk really fast, just have to kiss Dilly. You'll be fucked up by the time the night's over.
That is soul-crushingly mean-spirited. That is downright diabolical. Saying if you want to get drunk, just try and kiss Dilly. You'll be fucked up by the end of the night. Saying that you have to be hammered to want to kiss this guy. And this is the attitude for the entire stream. So she makes it pretty clear that she can't really stand to be around him unless she is extraordinarily drunk. So the whole time she is drinking throughout the stream, they reach the donation goal, so now she's obligated to give him a little smooch.
Can't do it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Can you come closer?
Okay, this close? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Can you pucker up? Pucker up.
This is I have small lips.
You just snotted on me. You just snotted on me.
This is my allergy.
You went, and the little snots went on my leg.
It did?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my god.
All right, come on.
Okay.
Sorry. I need to wash my mouth.
If I was watching a hostage video where someone had kidnapped my grandmother, threatening to slit her throat unless I paid the ransom, I would honestly find that video to be less cruel and more humane than this Twitch stream I just watched. This is absolutely brutal. My heart breaks for this guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he's done to deserve this, but this is like a divine punishment here. This whole thing was her idea. This was her donation incentive. And now she's acting like it was the worst thing that ever happened to her. It's so bad, she's got to go rinse her mouth out. She's got to fucking brush her teeth and scrub it all down with soap and bleach just to try and erase the stain that his lips put upon hers. It's just evil. This whole stream is her basically just bullying this guy.
Well. Jesus Christ. Well. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm back, guys. Sorry, I'm good. I'm good.
She's putting on this big song and dance about how gross and disgusting this was, when it was her idea. She's doing this just to make him feel even worse, and put on a show for her chat at this guy's expense. Like, oh, this loveless loser virgin flew all the way here, and oh, I just had to kiss him. Like, that's so mean. And this should be a wake-up call to her chat that, like, donates money to her under this idea that she's going to like them or something like that, or parasocially donating to her because they think that they're going to be friends or even more than that. This should be the biggest wake-up call. Your third eye should be fucking beaming from your forehead right now with this out there. This is her mod, someone who literally, like, does a ton for her. And this is how he's getting treated in front of everybody. That's what she thinks of you as well. Now, like I said, it's not just this viral moment here. The very beginning of the stream comes out fucking guns blazing, going hog wild about this guy having no shot with her and that she doesn't even really respect him at all.
Yeah, Dilly's living the dream. Aren't you so happy to be here?
Yeah. It's my dream, y'all.
Yeah, I've been posting pictures of Dilly every single day on Discord, and this guy cannot hang. Dilly's eyes are fucked. It's because I have cats and he's allergic, and he has allergy medicine. Doesn't he look like Gru from Despicable Me? Sorry, every time I see Dilly, I just start laughing.
This is the very beginning of the stream. This is chapter 1. It's not even chapter 1. This is the prologue. And she immediately comes out of the gate saying that he looks like Gru from Despicable Me, and she can't help but laugh when she sees him. The stream doesn't even make it 5 full minutes without her making sure to insult him in front of everybody. He's just getting publicly flogged immediately. She is flaying him alive throughout most of the stream. Again, this whole hour and 25 minutes is basically just make fun of Dilly, and let the chat make fun of Dilly too. It's so mean-spirited. And this guy, again, I don't know anything about him. He wasn't even creepy or weird or awkward. He seemed like just a very normal guy. He even seems pretty nice and really not weird. Yes, he does come across as like a little lonely and a little socially shy, but there's no like red flags or anything alarming about this guy at all. This must have been hell on earth for him to not only get invited out by the person that he clearly cares about since he mods for her, but to go there and then just be perpetually insulted directly by that person and the community that you mod for, having all these tomatoes thrown at you throughout the whole thing. And on top of all of that, be surrounded by cats which trigger his allergies. The misery must have been indescribable. Like, I'm getting parasocial with it because I actually just really do feel bad for him here. Like, brother, come on. Have some more self-respect. Have some more confidence. You deserve it. You deserve better than this treatment here. That was just so mean. Now, I already know the cope. I know what the excuse is going to be. Oh, she's clearly just pushing his buttons. They're just joshing around. They're very close friends, obviously. But I don't get that impression at all. These aren't jokes I would tell to even my best friend Matt, who I've known since middle school. A lot of what she says to and about Dilly is just downright nasty. I would never say to Matt, like, the only reason, you know, your wife ever kissed you is because she must have been blackout drunk and forgot what you looked like or something. That's just so fucked up. And, like, she makes statements like that pretty often throughout this stream. These aren't really jokes. She is just insulting this guy as much as possible to make him a laughingstock for her stream.
Cute couple, baby, we are not dating. I did not claim this.
Yo.
Sorry, that's so mean, but don't claim it. So yeah, 1 hour stream, so every minute counts. I made a donation goal of $500. I will kiss Dilly. So we hit it. But hopefully, I will be drunk for that. Let's take the first shot of the night, yeah? Is it too early?
No. Cheers.
The way she responded to the cute couple statement seemed like she was genuinely offended anyone would even say something like that. Now, keep in mind, she's still sober right here, so this is still her insulting him with the training wheels on. She hasn't even taken the gloves off yet. It gets really bad shortly after.
I made all the boys go with Dilly to help change his pants, so I think Dilly threw away his chunky throat pants in the trash. Dilly had the same size hands.
No,
oh my god, you have baby hands.
No way.
Yeah, we have the same size hands. That means you have a small dick.
The astute observers out there will have noticed that I put the stream to 2x speed during her story times, and I'll openly admit to it. The reason is because it was genuinely painful listening to her tell those stories because it's just shitting on Dilly. She's putting him on blast as frequently as possible, sharing his most embarrassing moments, so giving his lowlights. Here's the worst of moments with Dilly. Here's what Dilly did that was so embarrassing last night. You guys need to hear this. It's just, again, so unnecessarily mean. And then, of course, she has to do something about penis size, so she says, we have the same size hands, which means you have a tiny dick. Your hands aren't even the same size. His hands are visibly bigger than yours. But again, this is just being rude for the sake of it. Nobody is meaner to tier 3 subs or Twitch mods than the streamer themselves, it seems. She is so much nastier to her mod than anyone on Twitter has ever been to any mod for any streamer ever. Now, there are a couple times in the stream that she says that they're good friends, so it's all, you know, in good fun. And what a load of dirty barnacles. I think she says that to try and convince Dilly, and Dilly, he believes it. Dilly's bought into that fantasy. This does not strike me as two people that are friends. This strikes me as her using him for content, as a punching bag. That's what this all seems like. No friend dynamic is like this. No friendship goes like this. Of course you're going to joke around with your friends, you're going to get mean with your friends, but at the end of the day, you're close, and you know that there's no actual bad blood or malicious intent there. I do not get that vibe from this interaction at all, because it is unrelenting for an hour and 25 minutes, and what I'm about to show you here, I think is the most foul thing that she said throughout it.
Oh my god, so either go back with my ex, or get with Dilly for 6 months. Fuck. Okay, so in case you guys know, or don't know, I don't want to say his name out loud. This ex fucking traumatized me. He had a gambling addiction, drug addiction, porn addiction, like he actually fucked me up, okay? So either go through like trauma and emotional abuse, or date Dilly for 6 months. Trying to get back with my ex. Okay, next question. Is it true that
It's in 2x speed because, again, she was going on a montage of degrading him. And then it got to that question. Would you rather get back with your ex, who apparently traumatized her, or date Dilly for 6 months? And she chooses her ex. And then just laughs it off. She would rather be in, I guess, this emotionally abusive situation that she called it, and be traumatized, than be with Dilly for 6 months. Why would you even answer this question in the first place? That is so fucked up. I was stunned when that came around. Like, she knows Dilly is clearly interested in her romantically, and yet she uses that as the butt of the jokes. Like, half of the stream is making it clear that she feels she is so out of his league, so superior to him, that the comedy is that people would even suggest there's a chance. So this question rolls around, and she's like, oh yeah, I'd definitely just go back with the ex. Definitely wouldn't go back, or go with Dilly for 6 months. I'd rather be emotionally abused than spend time with this guy. In front of his face, too. The guy who basically does work for you on your streams by modding, who has also now gone out of his way to hang out with you in real life, and on your stream for your content. And now he has to sit there and hear that you would rather be emotionally abused and traumatized than date him for 6 months. This guy who obviously cares about you. I can't even imagine what a statement like that must feel like to hear. And he has to keep himself composed because she's broadcasting all of this to her audience publicly. I've never met anyone that I've had any kind of relationship with, a friend or even an acquaintance, that has said something that even teeters on as mean as what she just did right there. And she did it right to the face of someone who very clearly cares a lot about her. Now, she laughs it off and moves on to the next question, and I think Dilly has been brainwashed by her into thinking that he's a good friend of hers. But Dilly, I'm just going to hit you with the cold water. Friends don't treat each other this way. She is treating you like a subhuman pile of garbage.
Me personally, I would not hit. So, yeah, there is a right or wrong answer. Well, me personally... How about you rate me first?
10 out of 10.
Oh, fuck, you know, I'm not ready to rate. I'm just gonna drink.
That means I'm a 6. It's okay.
If it was, I would have said that out loud.
Oh.
Anyways.
Again, it's just an absolute flurry of disrespect from her towards Dilly. But I wanted to show this clip here at the end because I think this is a great summation of how this whole experience went, where he rates her a 10 out of 10. And then she refuses to rate him, so he playfully's like, oh, okay, that must mean like I'm a 6. And then she didn't have to say anything. She could have just moved on to the next question, but she went out of her way to let him know that that's not the case. So she says, if it was a 6, I would have said it out loud. Anyway, just trying to take another little stab, drive the dagger deep inside of his heart here to let him know that he is beneath her. He's not a 6 to her, and he needs to know it. It's so unnecessarily mean. It's just being an asshole and nothing more. She puts him down every chance she can find. She attacks every single one of his perceived weaknesses in her eyes and is doing everything in her power to publicly humiliate and degrade him. It is not friendly. There is nothing jovial about this whole stream at all. It is mean-spirited and just really fucking sad. Like I mentioned, there was a couple of times she tried to cushion the blows, like, oh, we're such good friends, this is all okay. And then when one of the questions during Truth or Drink is, what was your favorite thing about Dilly? She says that he's nice, and that he's like just super nice and not awkward. Those are the only couple of instances where she wasn't just shitting on him. And I think she did that because she could see from the chat that people were dogpiling onto Dilly, and it is just a really uncomfortable stream entirely.
How likely is it for him to pick up a girl tonight?
I'm gonna answer this honestly.
Honestly, you're not getting shit. I think maybe a girl be down to dance with you, you know?
That's a win.
But there's no way, I don't think you're getting any girl's numbers. Or going home with, I'm gonna say it's a 0 out of 10.
Well, obviously I wouldn't bring anyone back here, but...
I would let you. I'm a good friend. So if you want to bring a girl back here, you can. Wow. But I'm just being honest, I don't see it. Prove me wrong though. You know, prove me wrong.
I was perfectly content to not show you any more clips from the stream. I was just about to end the video, but then I remembered this moment, and I just had to showcase it. Even if it's not directly about her, she won't even let him think he has a chance with any girl, for that matter. None. Like, he's not even allowed to go into the club with a good mindset. They're going to a club later this evening, and they were getting hype for it. Like, chat was asking, hey, do you think he has a chance with a girl? And this was her response to it. He's not even allowed to have a good mentality going into it because she's already shitting on him beforehand to bring his self-esteem down. It's just bullying. Like, she is just a bully to this guy. It just doesn't end. He's not allowed to breathe for a second, A, because of the allergies that he's subjected to, but B, because she is constantly this miasma of hate to him. Like, it's just so negative. If this was actually any semblance of a friend, she would have lifted him up, like, yeah, you're gonna get some pussy tonight, let's go, let's have a good time out there tonight. That's not what she's doing. She's immediately putting him down. Again, for the millionth time this stream.
Who's better looking, Dilly or your ex? My ex. Next question. Do you ever have any feelings for any of your mods, including him? Hell no, that's why they're my mods.
Last clip from this stream, I promise, but I thought this was an important one. I have for a long time preached about how awful parasocial relationships are and how prevalent it is in streaming. I think hearing her say this should have snapped a ton of people out of that mentality that just by donating to somebody or modding for somebody in this case, that all of a sudden they're going to somehow develop feelings for you or something. Doesn't happen. It won't happen. And that is not a healthy mindset for you as a viewer to be in. I wanted to put this here because she just says it with her whole chest right in front of Dilly. Again, per usual here for this stream. But this was actually an important lesson to learn. Just because you mod for somebody or donate to somebody, if you're a tier 3 sub to somebody, if you've been sub to somebody for years, they are not all of a sudden your best friend, and they are not obligated to fall in love with you or have feelings for you. So, tough pill to swallow for some, I'm sure, but it needs to get through. Now, all that being said, what Dilly was subjected to here is nothing shy of heinous. Nobody deserves this level of public humiliation, and I feel extremely bad for him, and I'm just genuinely wishing him the best going forward. I just had to talk about this because it is one of the downright meanest and saddest streams I've ever seen on Twitch. Like, probably ever, I think. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Do you think the video was frozen? I bet you did, you gullible idiot. Your weakness offends me. Me blowing a raspberry right there may have even startled you, and if that's the case, you absolutely make me sick, you fool. Let this be an important lesson to you. Don't trust anything. Not even yourself. Your eyes told you one thing, but the truth was very different. They played a trick on you, those lying bastards. So stay alert. Stay vigilant. Stay safe. But anyway, the video might not be frozen, but I certainly was frozen in disbelief at the picture I looked at earlier today, and that disbelief soon turned to disgust as I cannonballed into a never-ending rabbit hole of degeneracy. And I thought it was interesting, so I figured, let's talk about it. So Ruby Rose is a very popular individual right now, and she posted this on Twitter today. I ran into my #1 spender on OnlyFans, and we are blessed with 2 magnificent pictures here. On the left, it is Ruby Rose posing with her #1 piggy bank dumper. Now let's turn our attention to Exhibit B and we can get the statistics. So he has been subscribed to her OnlyFans for a month and has spent a total of $62,000. 62,000 clams. Now if I may for a moment, I'm going to channel my inner method actor here and do an impression for you. This is his financial advisor upon checking his credit card statements. Thank you very much. I'm the next Jim Carrey, what can I say? 62,000 doubloons he has spent in presumably 1 month on her OnlyFans, I think. I think that's how it works. I don't know if you can spend money on someone's OnlyFans without also being subscribed. So I think he is speed running bankruptcy through OnlyFans purchases. Man's making George Santos look like a small fry. This is wildness. Now let's go back to just the tweet itself. I ran into my #1 spender on OnlyFans. Miss Rose, I have breaking news. You did not just run into this guy by pure accident. This was not happenstance, a coincidence, a twist of fate. This man absolutely went out of his way to find you and run into you. So while it may have been an accident on your part, perhaps, that you happened to run into him, this was a calculated maneuver from him, I have no doubt. I can already just see him in the bathroom mirror doing his hands like this, scheming. Okay, I know where she's gonna be. Game time. I'll introduce myself. And then, at the end of the day, dude spends 62 grand and doesn't even get a hug in the picture. There is no contact between the two of them in this photograph there. She is still wisely keeping her distance from this guy. Not even like a hover hand or anything at all. But I'm not his dad or anything. I'm not gonna go over and slap the wiener out of his hand. If he wants to spend $62,000 on OnlyFans, all power to him. But you have to wonder, what does he do to be able to afford $62,000 on a single person's OnlyFans? So I tried to find the scoop, and I didn't have to search very long or very hard because people also were very curious and found a lot of information on him. So, allegedly, he is a crypto millionaire. He hit it big in the crypto boom, and that's where he got most of his money from, allegedly. I can't 100% confirm that, but... And then the most interesting discovery occurred up there with, like, finding the One Piece. They found out that this guy is most likely the same guy from MTV's True Life, I'm Addicted to Porn. And they found this image here. His shirt goes insano style, by the way. It says "Born for Porn," which I believe should just be a crime, like a charge, if you just wear that in general. But anyway, logically it made sense. Someone spending $62,000 on OnlyFans, a single OnlyFans model, is absolutely addicted to porn in some way. And it seems like, through this evidence, he may have been addicted to porn for quite a long time. So, I went to the archives. I went to watch the episode itself. Turns out it's on Hulu, Season 12, Episode 6 of True Life. His name is Brandon. He was 26 years old at the time of filming in 2009. So his meat has not known a night of peace in over a decade now. Since 2009, he has been non-stop playing the skin flute, a symphony to the tune of porn that never ends. The porn industry has got his scrotum in a death grip and it is not let go. Now, the True Life episode has Brandon talk about his addiction, and addiction in all of its forms is an extremely sad thing, and porn addiction is a legitimate illness. It's a real thing. And Brandon talks about how it's affected his real life relationships, and also it's kind of led him to have this inability to focus on things that are important, like getting a job. There's like a little chunk of time dedicated to his job search where he spends 30 minutes going through Craigslist looking for job listings, and then after 30 minutes, he just starts watching porn for 2 hours. And he says that he watches porn between 5 to 10 hours a day. 5 to 10 hours a day watching porn. That is an incomprehensibly outrageous amount of time to be dedicated to watching anything at all. It's so sad. And it doesn't seem like he's gotten any better considering how much he is spending on just one OnlyFans model. Now, I'm not big dumb idiot enough to believe everything MTV shows. A lot of it is probably fabricated, exaggerated, and all that. But it's worth mentioning at the end of the episode, things are looking up for Brandon. There's the big come to Jesus moment where he's like, you know what? Porn is a problem. It's gotta go. Time to scram. Get out of town. No more porn. Time to get my life together. And the episode ends with him getting a part-time job working at a bar. And I don't know if any of that was real or not, but it doesn't seem like a whole lot has changed when it comes to Brandon's relationship with pornography, considering how much money he is currently spending on one OnlyFans model. It seems like the only thing that has improved for Brandon since that episode in 2009 is his financial situation. He was struggling to get a job then. I don't know if he has a job now, but he certainly does have a lot of disposable income, it appears. But anyway, as I mentioned, addiction in any of its forms is a horrible thing, so I do legitimately feel bad for him. And also, this isn't even where the rabbit hole ends on this guy. It also seems like he was friends with Juice WRLD. He recorded at least 2 videos like this, and it seems like they must have known each other, unless Brandon happened to have broken into Juice WRLD's place and then filmed these TikToks. I think they're TikToks. Obviously, this has nothing to do with the OnlyFans spending, but just another really weird tidbit of lore around this guy. But anyway, I think the important takeaway here is don't be like Brandon. Yes, he may have potentially hit it big with crypto, but it seems like the only things he's spending that money on is OnlyFans and I would assume other porn avenues. Like, that seems to be where all of that goes towards. I really don't know how long he can do that for. He is very much a porn addict. Even the shirt he's wearing in the picture with Ruby Rose says, "If I die, delete browser history." Porn has become his entire personality. Like, it's like his whole being. And that's just not healthy at all. But you know what is healthy? Helping others. So this holiday season, we're doing what we did last year at Mana, where we're raising money for the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. Last year we raised over $110,000. It was an incredible series of streams that we did. And this year we're looking to do it again, but adding a few new things, such as these sticker packs. So this one's obviously me. This one is Jimmy here, and this is, of course, GB. So, myself, GB, and Jimmy are doing Mana Impact and raising money for the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation, which is an organization that aims to alleviate the suffering caused from mental illnesses through awarding grants that will help lead to breakthrough research. And it's just an overall great organization. So again, if you're looking to help support in any way, there's a link in the description below, and $10 or more gets you the cute stickers. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that here at the end of the video. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah. I wasn't home much yesterday, so I missed a lot of the happenings from the last 24 hours, but today I happened to see a wacky headline. Nicki Minaj praises J.D. Vance as assassin as Erica Kirk sits next to her. This was apparently at something called AmFest, where Nicki Minaj went up on stage to celebrate Trump and a bunch of stuff or whatever, and then I guess while she was busy glazing and gobbling on, like, the administration's wiener, she tried to pay J.D. Vance a compliment by calling him an assassin, which obviously raises some eyebrows as Erica Kirk sits right next to her. whose husband was literally assassinated. Ordinarily, I'd put the clip here so you could hear it for yourself, but I don't want to take a chance of DMCA, especially with how rampant that kind of shit's been going on. You can watch it yourself if you want, though, but she immediately recognizes the blunder. She kind of scholars mated herself there by using that word. To me, it probably sounds like an Austin Powers type moment where it, don't say mole, don't say mole, don't say mole, mole. Where she was trying so hard not to use the word assassin, but then for some reason, her fucking neurons couldn't fire properly, and all she could think of for a compliment for J.D. Vance was that he's an assassin. And Erica Kirk tries to, dispel the awkwardness and, reassure her, it's okay, and try and make light of it and move on from it. But what a weird compliment to try and pay somebody. Who says that? Oh, this guy's, so epic. He's so awesome. He's an assassin. That's something a middle schooler would say on fucking Xbox Live or something. What are you talking about? Who says that shit? Now, that's not the only thing I wanted to yap about here. Obviously, that's just a weird, wacky little thing. But Nicki Minaj's presence at an event like this is so head-scratching to me because she herself is not a U.S. citizen. I don't know how many people know this or how many people just forgot. She herself talks about not being a U.S. citizen and that she is literally an illegal immigrant. In 2018, she even made a whole statement about it with what was happening to immigration back then and how her heart was breaking for it, telling the story of how she came to this country at 5 years old, an illegal immigrant. She was discussing how she can't even imagine being separated from her parents at 5 years old and everything that was happening then. And since, she still has not become an American citizen. In 2024, only a year ago, she once again opened up reiterating, confirming she is still not an American citizen, despite paying so many millions in taxes and all that. So her going on stage yesterday and being like, the president is dashing and handsome, it gives me the same feeling as someone who's trying so hard to avoid getting in trouble by trying to butter up the person that can really fuck them. Oh, you're just so smart and striking. Devilishly talented, by the way, did I tell you that? Honestly, I'd go as far as to call you a god, even an assassin. It feels like she's so over the top, maybe she's worried about getting deported herself or something, so now she's trying to, suckle the titty here of this administration and, hide in its ranks as, a public figure. So now she's just stuck looking like a fucking imbecile. Yeah, this administration is perfect! Frosted Flakes, they're great! Yeah, who just said Epstein files? Someone shoot that guy! Yeah, us U.S. citizens! All of us, my fellow U.S. citizens, we gotta stick together. We love U.S. citizens like me, am I right? That kind of thing, she's cutting fucking WWE promos. But I think there also might be another explanation here. Again, just another game theory. Maybe she's not looking to protect herself. Maybe she's fishing for a pardon for her sex offender husband. Since Trump likes to hand out pardons like they're fucking Girl Scout cookies, I think there also might be this play from Nicki Minaj here to try and get one of those for her husband, Kenneth Petty, who is literally a registered sex offender. Maybe she's trying to make it so he no longer has to keep re-upping that and getting in trouble when he refuses to do so, like recently when he had to go under house arrest for failure to register as a sex offender. So perhaps maybe she's trying to get in their good graces so she can then float the idea to Trump about pardoning Kenneth. After the never-ending circus that has been the Epstein files, especially the most recent shenanigans here, it should be painfully obvious that the government is more than willing to bend over backwards to protect sex offenders and the most evil, heinous people on the planet imaginable. So it's not a far-fetched idea to think that maybe Nicki Minaj is making a play like that to try and get that special treatment for her husband. But yeah, anyway, I just found it to be a really interesting fit here. This is one of those situations, the call's coming from inside the house. This shit feels a little odd because she herself is fundamentally the exact opposite of everything Amfest was presenting based on all the other clips I've seen. She is an illegal immigrant, she's not a U.S. citizen, and her husband is a sex offender. I don't know, sports fans, maybe I'm on the crack pipe, but that doesn't exactly sound like the ingredients, the recipe to a perfect fit for the conference she was attending here. But, what do I know at the end of the day? I just wanted to yap about it. That's about it. So yeah. Alright, I went down the dark and depressing rabbit hole of weird family vlog YouTube channels. Not that that's its own category, because every family vlog channel on YouTube I think is weird. And I just want to talk about it today. It's been bothering me for the last couple days, and I'm just going to pop the zit here for a little relief, just to talk about it. I think family vlog channels is super creepy. I think it really hurts your whole family, especially because all of these family vlog channels focus on their kids mainly. So I genuinely can't wrap my head around growing up with a camera in my face every single day throughout my entire developing years. It has to be horrible. It just feels so fake, so forced, and it feels like there's nothing private in these kids' lives anymore. It's just completely open for strangers to watch them grow up. And it's even like these strangers are helping to raise your kids. It's like this awful parasocial relationship with creepy people on YouTube in the comments watching and judging your parenting and your kids. It's fucking terrifying. Like, I remember one time when I was 8 years old, I got naked and put my wiener on a pile of dirty laundry and then pissed all over it. If I did that today, well, not today as like a 27-year-old man, I'd just go to jail. But if I did that today, like if I was 8 years old and I did that, that'd probably be like a fucking million view family vlog video right there. That'd just be like the thumbnail, like, my son did what to our laundry? Like, everything for these families gets filmed and posted on YouTube because it makes them money and somehow has an audience. I think it's just super fucking creepy. These parents are just using their kids as props in their videos in order to make money off of it. It feels like fucking child labor to a certain extent. They're like the main draw, they're the main actors, and yet they don't benefit from it at all. They don't see a dime of that shit. Like, yeah, maybe they'll get some cool toys or whatever, but it's not like they are actually able to consent to being like the main character in your horrible YouTube production. They're just kids. Like, take for example Ryan Toy Reviews. That kid is worth over $30 million. One of the most popular and most profitable channels on all of YouTube. That kid has not seen a dime of that, I bet. It all goes to his parents, who are absolutely living it up with that money. Ryan's been like 6 years old for the last 10 years. He's like fucking Ash Ketchum. The kid has to be approaching like 14 by this point, but he is still doing the same thing, and his parents are still the main beneficiary from his work. Now, of course, I'm sure there's some level of fun where he just gets to play with toys. It makes his parents happy. He gets more toys, and it's just this cycle. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's not the most evil situation in the world, but it's still extremely weird. All of these family vlog channels strike me as just a bunch of narcissists who found a way to make money using their kids and using the least amount of effort possible just by shoving a camera in their family's face at all hours of the day. Like, there's a popular meme that went around last year where it was this picture here. Zam, she's only 12, so spicy. This comes from a family vlog channel with over 8.7 million subs. Now, the girl in their thumbnail wasn't actually 12, but I still censored it just in case. You can see that some of these families with these channels are fucking weird. Clickbaiting child porn for your audience is not okay. Like, who the fuck does the Prince family think is watching them? Jared Fogle? Like, are they trying to appeal to, like, pedophiles or something? Like, what the fuck was the point in taking a woman in her bra and panties, calling her 12, and then saying she's spicy on your thumbnail? It's fucking weird. Now, I want to make it clear, I don't think every family with a vlog channel is a dysfunctional group of goofballs that, you know, hurt their kids or make their kids' lives miserable. I'm not saying that. I'm sure there are some genuinely wholesome families out there where the whole family just enjoys getting together, like, once a week, once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, and doing like a family video together. I'm sure that exists. I have no doubt about it. I'm focusing more on the family vlog channels that are like daily or every couple of day posters that are literally all hours shoving cameras in their kid's face. It's not healthy, and these families are not doing a great job of raising their kids. I'm not like some kind of fucking child psychology expert or anything, but I think I can say with confidence, no one growing up wants to be constantly monitored by complete strangers. Sounds like a nightmare, and God forbid you actually have like a serious problem, because then the whole world's gonna know about it. A lot of these family channels, their most popular videos are when their family's going through something rough. Like one of the kids breaks their arm, or one of the kids gets in trouble at school or something, and the video's them being disciplined, or them at the hospital, or crying. Those get the most views, which is why you see so many thumbnails with the kids in pain, or crying, or something like traumatic going on. Like, you remember Daddy05? That was an extremely big controversy. That was a genuine abusive family that was actually hurting their kids for views on YouTube. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I'm sure most of you remember. That's not exactly uncommon on the platform, I imagine. These videos where the kids are in distress, like just really upset about something or even injured, are really popular on these channels. I honestly wouldn't be surprised, and this is just a full-blown, like, Alex Jones level conspiracy here, full-blown tinfoil condom, but I really wouldn't be surprised to learn that a lot of these family channels actually set up these awful situations for their kids for the sake of views. Like, oh my god, my son, Nicholas, just got hit by a rogue baseball bat that flew out of a pickup truck that went by. It must have been a drive-by attempt where they threw a baseball bat at my son and it hit his ankles. Now they're clearly broken. Oh my god. Nicholas, are you okay? Oh, look at how hard he's crying. His ankles are truly shattered. Can we hit 100,000 likes on this video for my son's broken ankles? I'm gonna have to get him to a hospital. He's very upset. Oh my god. And the only thing that's gonna make him feel better is 100,000 likes on this video. And then you'll see like a week later, all of a sudden, oh my god, Nicholas fell off the top turnbuckle of our WWE wrestling ring and landed on a pit of broken glass that was just left there by some irresponsible builders. Oh my god, Nicholas, how are you feeling? Oh, can we hit 100,000 likes on this video? Nicholas is very upset and in pain. It's so sick. Really, just search any family vlog channel on YouTube and some of the most recent videos are probably going to be exactly what I'm talking about. Like here, this is the Prince family. 6 days ago, Grandpa gives kids a whooping. And then right before that, back to back, DJ almost drowns in the swimming pool. And then if you go to the most popular family vlog channel, the Ace family, literally their most recent upload, Steele got hurt bad on camera. Then in stars So Unexpected. Which just sounds like sarcasm. It just sounds like the Ace family is laughing about this like, haha, yeah, Steele had no idea that one was coming. How unexpected, I get pranked. You know, like it sounds like they're actually celebrating that Steele got hurt here because it meant more views for them. And then if you go back a little bit more, the dog bit our baby, scary moment. Like, a lot of these videos, and it really doesn't take long to find them because there's so many on all of these family vlog channels. It's like they really like start pumping their fists like, yeah, my kids got hurt. There's gonna be big views. You can find so much of this. So it's not even like wholesome families doing wholesome shit. It's these really sick families celebrating and capitalizing off of traumatic experiences of their children. Like, just imagine, you can't even cry or get hurt without your parents filming you. That's an actual nightmare. And then it gets posted online for everyone to see. Your classmates might see it. Like, you just grow up in the eyes of complete strangers. That's terrifying. And there's no way kids can, like, fully grasp that concept till they're much older. And yeah, maybe some of them are okay with it as they get older because, you know, maybe then they actually start to see some of the money that they've made for their narcissistic parents. But even still, it's not a good environment to raise a family. At least I can't imagine that it is. It's so weird. And the audience is even creepier to me because the audience is two groups. It's little kids and old parents. Parents that their kids have already grown up and moved out of the house, so now they live vicariously through these YouTube families, and little kids who just see these other kids getting toys and attention that they might not be getting in their situation. So both of these groups, I think, are in very sad places for different reasons. Kids that come from broken households that get glued to this content because they're watching these kids live the life they wish they could. And then you have parents that are well past their prime whose kids most likely don't live with them anymore, don't talk to them anymore, whatever. They watch these family vlog channels and get attached to them and try and like raise their kids through the YouTube comments. Scrolling down into the comment section on a family vlog video is more sad than watching an ASPCA commercial. It is depressing. You'll see a lot of the commenters, at least on the channels that don't have comments disabled, you'll see a lot of the commenters are older women who their motherly instinct kicks in. So like on the Steele got hurt video, you'll see a lot of them be like, oh my god, my reflexes kicked in and I grabbed my hydrogen peroxide and poured it on my keyboard hoping to help Steele. Oh my god, oh my god, thank you for helping him. I got so concerned there for a moment. You'll see how attached they get. They, as a viewer, feel like they become part of that family because now that they're older, they don't have like a real kid to take care of or anything. So they're settling for the next best thing, which is living this fantasy where they're somehow helping the Ace family raise their kids or helping in their lives somehow. And then from that, you'll see a lot of these older women feel entitled to know everything that's going on with the family, which is why you have a lot of these family vlog channels make videos that get way, way, way too personal and share way too much about themselves as parents and their kids. Like, I've seen a bunch of these family vlog channels where they're like the couples going through like a lot of issues and they share all of them with their audience because the audience demands it. And it's like they're never satisfied. They need to know every single detail. They just become so unhealthily attached to what they see on these family vlogs. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to talk about it. I hate family vlog channels, but I understand they're not going anywhere and they're probably only going to grow in popularity. I just wanted to at least talk about this since I had been thinking about it for the last couple days. That's about it. So yeah, we're in a very perplexing pickle here, because I'm the gladiator of goofiness, the savant of silly, so anytime there's a weird situation that's a bit wacky, people update me on it, and usually I'll giggle about it, maybe I'll make something covering it. But now, today, there's something that a lot of people seem to think is a really humorous, silly situation, when I don't view it that way at all. In fact, I view it as an extremely sad, distressing situation. It's everything that's been happening with FouseyTube. If you're like me with gray hairs in your beard, that name might ring a little bell in your cobweb-covered brain, because it's a name that's as old as YouTube itself, really. He was around a long time ago doing pranks and all kinds of shit, and he was a big name back then. But he had a mental health meltdown that kind of caused him to step away from content creation for a while to work on himself and try and better his actual life away from the internet. And now he's come back as an IRL live streamer, broadcasting pretty much every waking moment of his life on camera. And it is probably the worst thing that could have possibly happened to him. His streams blew up. He got all of the clout he'd ever dreamed of. And he immediately became corrupted and poisoned by it. His broadcast went from the beginning being pretty wholesome and community-driven, like fun stuff from what I recall when he first came back. It was actually kind of cool to root for like an OG YouTuber stepping into a different ballpark, and he seemed like he was in a much better headspace. But then his numbers kept going up. And as those numbers kept climbing, so too did his ego, until he reached his absolute boiling point and crossed the event horizon of maximal douchebaggery. He became his own worst enemy. He would insult people if they were poor. His main insult was about people's financial status and well-being. He became completely corrupted by clout. He was like Gollum, with the One Ring ruining his mind. That was FouseyTube's precious attention. And as his mental health deteriorated, his online presence was only bolstered. People kept tuning in to see what wild thing was going to happen next. What kind of incredible, loud rant is Fousey going to go on next? Just encouraging this downward spiral as people shoved popcorn in their face gluttonously, consuming a man's mental health meltdown on stream. And it really started reaching its boiling point about 2 weeks ago. While on stream, FouseyTube was at an airport and met a woman, and she was very clearly super drunk. She was hammered. And the two got to talking, and eventually she revealed that she was actually the victim of human trafficking at one point in her life. And how did FouseyTube respond to that information? By apparently having sex with her in the airport bathroom. He came back on stream after like a 10-minute break, giddy, and he was saying about how he just joined the Mile High Club. Well, not exactly the Mile High Club, because they were still at the airport, but you know, we just fucking boinked in the toilets over there. And he was so pleased, and then his community turned on him. They were like, wow, that's actually extremely fucked up. She's super drunk, and she also just confided in you that she was the victim of human trafficking. How could you have done this, Fousey? You just took advantage of this woman. This is really degenerate, unforgivable shit. So then he very quickly tried to like play it off as a joke, and he wasn't being serious. Like, haha, no, haha, not real, didn't actually happen. Ha, you guys fell for a timeless classic prank. Get pranked, epic style prank, not real, didn't actually do that. When it seems like that's exactly what happened, and this is like Twitter in a nutshell with absolute unhinged lunacy. I did see some people defending this by saying, yeah, but he also raised money for her, so he should have been allowed to have sex with her anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. What they're referring to is he asked his community to donate to her, and they raised like $2,500 for her. And that's apparently an excuse for having sex with an extremely drunk woman who also had just confided in you that she was the victim of human trafficking at some point. It's so alarming seeing people try and rationalize and justify it. That is concerning. Like, that is just downright fucking alarming. But anyway, FouseyTube did face backlash for that, but it actually only made him even more popular because it put FouseyTube's mental health on a bigger stage for more people to see. So more spectators funneled in to watch the train wreck unfold every single day, because he was broadcasting fucking 24/7 basically. A lot of people just kept coming in to point and laugh at the freak show. Look at this crazy guy doing crazy shit. Everyone come watch and laugh at this guy as he broadcasts a very serious mental illness, and as it continues to only get worse. Ha ha. And last night, he ended up getting arrested on stream. I don't even know where to begin with this stream. I actually watched like the last 2 hours of it because even before that, things were looking really bad. FouseyTube had assaulted 2 people earlier in the stream last night after they had only lightly bruised his ego over very minor things. He had been yelling and insulting a ton of people. It was looking really bad. He legitimately looked like he was a danger to not only himself, but others. There was also some unlovable, kissless virgin, loser, turbo, insufferable asshole troll that was calling and harassing FouseyTube's family and threatening their life, threatening his life, which of course only continued to push Fousey down this path. The troll was like threatening his family, threatening Fousey, which only made everything significantly worse, obviously. He ended up getting kicked out of an Airbnb and then checking into a hotel where he had a manic episode again and ended up calling the police. And he basically swatted himself.
The fucking questions, send the fucking cops. Send the cops. There's a gun to my head right now. There's a gun to my head. Help, ma'am, he left. Ma'am, he left. There's a gun to my head. Help, get them. Help, bye. Ma'am, Intercontinental, what's my room number? Help, tell me. 2020.
He spent like the last 45 minutes of the stream in a panicked, manic state where he was very afraid of that troll who was making threats against his family and himself. And he ended up calling the police, hoping that they could go arrest him and take him away to try and, fix this whole situation. And it was only made worse because the troll kept pushing him. Like earlier in the stream, Fousey had apparently like fallen in love with this girl and she had like broke up with him, and the troll took credit for it, claiming that he had actually planted that girl there so Fousey would fall in love with her and then she'd break his heart. So he mentions that multiple times in the last 45 minutes because he truly believed that that girl he met was a fucking plant from this troll who's controlling every aspect of his life now. Even the girl he had fallen in love with was actually on the troll's payroll working for him in order to hurt Fousey. So it was this just very, very sad thing to watch unfold. And the police respond, obviously. He called them and said that, his life was in danger. There was a fucking gun to his head. So the police do actually show up.
He's a stalker.
Okay, and who is this guy?
I don't fucking know.
So how do you want us to look for him if you don't know where he is?
I have his address.
What is his address?
I said grab my security 20 minutes ago.
Alright, listen.
You guys are dumb as fuck, man. You guys are literally dumb as fuck.
There's conflicting information on if it's an actual arrest or if they're just detaining him because he is having this mental health episode. He was yelling and screaming at them and saying a bunch of things that obviously didn't make much sense. So, because he was so irate and so deeply disturbed, it seems like the cops arrested him and detained him. And I truly believe that that was actually for the best. I think if this stream continued, he would have ended up hurting himself or somebody. He was in a very intense, very manic state that could have ended very poorly. I watched this all happen live in real time, and there was nothing entertaining about it. People were losing their mind about how entertaining it was. W-stream, this shit is amazing. Because there's such a disconnect from the internet, like the normal internet spectator live stream viewer, and reality. What you are watching is a very real person. FouseyTube is a real human being having an actual mental health breakdown. A complete collapse of mental health. And people are just celebrating it and can't wait for him to come back and are praying that he doesn't take medication. He also mentioned during his stream that he hasn't been taking any of his mental health medication for the last 2 days, and he had apparently not slept for 2 days either, and people love it. People can't wait for more of it, and I just find that so fucking sad. I really do. I don't think there's anything goofy about it. Fousey is unfortunately not only being encouraged by his audience that's treating him like some kind of circus show, he's also being encouraged by other streamers in the real world that keep patting him on the ass and pushing him to keep doing this kind of shit. He is surrounded by parasites, these fucking leeches that are latching on to Fousey's ass like a goddamn hemorrhoid in order to suckle some clout out from under him. So he's blown up from all of this. So a lot of other streamers have started trying to be all buddy-buddy with him, like, hey, we're such good pals, Fousey, you're doing great, let me in your content. So they keep forcing themselves into Fousey's life so they can broadcast themselves to promote themselves through him, without ever actually caring about him as a friend. No one is actually helping him get what he needs. He is clearly going through a legitimate mental health crisis. Fousey has been very open and honest in the past about the mental health struggles that he has. He has legitimate mental illness. And nobody around him seems to care. They only care that he keeps bringing in big numbers, which help them. There was a moment right before he was arrested where Aiden Ross called him and told him to, like, calm down and go to sleep. And that is more than a lot of other people in his life have done for him, but that is still, like, the bare minimum. Like, that is, like, very easy to do stuff. That's not help Fousey needs. What he needs is someone that's willing to do the hard stuff. Turn his fucking stream off. Take his phone away. Take his camera away. He needs to be disconnected from the internet, and he actually needs legitimate professional help. That's the hard thing that no one's willing to do. But it's what he needs. That is 100% the only thing that will help him. But no one does it. Like, again, there are a couple people, it wasn't just Aiden, that are like, hey, Fousey, just calm down, go to bed, it's not that big of a deal. But he's not going to do that. He is in a actual manic state. He's not just going to stop and go to sleep because you asked him nicely. You need someone that is actually caring about him to take all of that away and get him to where he needs to go, to a professional. And also, a lot of other people pointed this out too. The platforms can also do something. Kick could have absolutely suspended the stream. They could have, and that would have been an invaluable help to him. But they don't, because he brings in so many viewers and so much attention, and that's what the world seems to run on these days. So all the people in his life and everything and everyone around him is just a yes man that encourages this destructive behavior. And it's only going to get worse if he's allowed to keep doing this without anyone actually stepping up to help him. I think it is fucking tragic. So I don't think it's goofy. I don't think it's silly. I wanted to briefly talk about it because I keep getting asked about it because so many people seem to think that it is goofy and silly. And I just completely disagree. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's really about it. So yeah. It's not often that there'll be a situation where an internet content creator gets accused of doing some heinous, deplorable, degenerate, sketchy garbage, and you're caught off guard by it. Most of the time, the stories play out with people you expect to be the likely suspect, like Logan Paul. When you hear that he's scamming his audience with CryptoZoo and not repaying them, you're like, you know what? That sounds about par for the course. That sounds about right. Of course, there are those rare times where it really comes out of nowhere, but it's never going to be something super shocking like Mr. Rogers just got revived from the dead and now he's beating children at a local elementary school or anything. But today, that's kind of how it feels, because a YouTuber that I've really respected for a long time was just accused of some pretty awful things in regards to how they handled their charity organization that they've done fundraising for the last 9 years. And there's a lot of evidence about this that has been put out there to the public now. So the situation is a YouTuber named The Completionist, who's been around for a very long time, whose content I am very familiar with, has just been put in the center of a huge controversy after an investigation was conducted by two other YouTubers whom I have a lot of love and respect for, Mudahar, Some Ordinary Gamers, and Carl Jobst. The two of them decided to team up like a beautiful buddy cop movie, forming the goddamn Avengers here, and they decided to dig into the financial reports that are publicly available for a charity that The Completionist owns called the Open Hand Foundation. It was started when his mother tragically passed away from dementia, and for the last 9 years has been gathering money to give to causes that will help in the battle against dementia. But what Carl and Muda found is that over the course of the last 9 years since it's existed, they haven't donated a single penny from any of their fundraising to any cause whatsoever. All of that money is still, most of that money is still sitting in the bank account for that charity. And despite this, over the last 9 years, they continue to raise money while telling the audience that's giving them the money that it's all being donated and it's being helped to fight against dementia. Even though the reality is none of that money has been sent anywhere. It is still in that account. Aside from some operating expenses that they've incurred, which they don't specify anything on, which is extremely fishy. And there's just so many things about this that have raised the alarm for many people internally here who have reviewed everything that Mutahar and Carl have presented and taken elsewhere. It's just, there's a ton of red flags. And they even do talk to the completionist directly during these videos. They interviewed him, and he also recognizes the problem. He admits to the problem. He can see how bad it all is, though I will say that his explanations for why it's in the state that it's in and what's happening here with this situation aren't very good. I don't think he does a great job of defending this in any way that makes any real sense. So the whole thing is extremely unfortunate. Now, he hasn't made a full official public statement yet aside from these interviews, but it's not looking very good. There's really not a whole lot of wiggle room for this just to be classified as like, you know, digging up dirt and drama on nothing, making a mountain out of a molehill. No, this is like pretty watertight evidence that they presented, and even the person at like the helm of it, the completionist, recognizes that, yeah, it's a huge problem, it's bad. So I'll boil this down for a lot of people that may have just seen like a bit of what's going on Twitter. So Mutahar and Carl, they worked together to investigate a YouTuber named The Completionist and his charity foundation. It's called the Open Hand Foundation. And basically, since it's a charity foundation, their records are public. So they can see what money comes in and what money goes out, like to charitable causes. Basically, they're a middleman. They take in donations, the charity that is, and it's all under the pretense that it's going to be donated to a benefactor that's going to fight against dementia, like come up with treatments, maybe a cure, anything to combat dementia. Mutahar and Carl decided to dig through their financials because, again, all of that's public. And what they found is since 2014, they haven't donated a single penny to any causes, anything at all. All of that money, it's like $600,000 and some change, is still just sitting in their account. Despite the completionist doing these charity fundraisers yearly and telling people where, you know, like the money's going here and there and it's being used to help people, this and that. Meanwhile, it has just been sitting in an account. And they interviewed him, and he also recognized, like, this is a problem. And there was a couple things he said that really didn't sit right with me, where he kind of made it seem like his biggest concern was his public image as a result of all of this. So he'd be like, maybe if I have to just take the L here, like, this isn't a take the L situation. If you've been misleading people with a charity's purpose and what it's been doing for all of these years, that's like a very big deal. Very, very big deal. It's not just like a, frivolous internet drama. So that's kind of the situation in a nutshell. He hasn't come forward with like a full statement on his own outside of the interview they did where he does own up to all of it, though he says it's not on purpose. He's just made a mistake. He was under the assumption that the money was being donated. Turns out it hasn't been, so it's just been sitting stagnant, collecting dust and cobwebs in the bank account for the charity foundation. And there was a lot of other really weird stuff, and I won't get into the weeds. I highly recommend watching either Mutahar's video or Carl's video on it where they go over it. But there are a lot of other weird things in there, such as the way that they report what money gets spent on like operational costs. There was just a lot of red flags. But the biggest thing is he continues to raise money for this charity. Everyone who donates believes that money is going towards the cause that he is promoting, like, hey, this money is being used to combat dementia, find treatments, this and that. That's where we're sending the money. It's not. It's just sitting in a bank account. So that's the big problem. It's just lying to the audience. Now, from everything they've reported, Mutahar and Carl haven't said that he's pocketing the money or anything like that. I know Dexerto ran a dog shit article claiming that that's what Mutahar and Carl were saying. They're not. They are not making the claim that the completionist or anyone on his team is taking that money for themselves. It's just since, again, all of the records are public, you can see that the money is still just in that account. It is still just sitting there for 9 fucking years. And it's because they can't find the right benefactor, which is a really weird excuse. That doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Didn't they have like 100K operating expenses? Something like that, which again, they don't report what the actual operating expenses were, like specifically, which makes them very vulnerable to an audit, which is something they talk about. It's just all very fishy. It's very poorly ran. Poorly ran is being extremely generous. There are so many things in here that don't make a lot of sense at all. I want to show you a clip from Carl's video, actually a couple clips from Carl's video.
Their website clearly states they support the UCSF, and they have a quote from David Kessler, the Dean of the UCSF School of Medicine, thanking them for their gift. But the interesting thing about David Kessler is that he was fired as the Dean of the UCSF School of Medicine in 2007, 7 years before OpenHand was even officially registered.
That's an extreme eyebrow raiser right there. To any detective worth their salt, they'd puff on their pipe, let out a big puff of smoke and say, "Baloney, what's happening?" and dig deeper, which is exactly what Carl and Mutahar did. Carl reached out to the organization to ask them why they haven't given any money over the last 10 or so years.
Which was written by Jacques Khalil, Gerard's brother. They claimed that before their official registration as a foundation, they donated body parts for research. A strange claim that I don't believe can be true of a charity. That's likely referring to a private and personal matter within their family and would have nothing to do with OpenHand. They claim they made financial contributions to an institution that made insufficient progress. Essentially, OpenHand is claiming that because they made donations before they were registered in 2014, which we cannot confirm because it wasn't public at the time, this means that it is acceptable to not pass along any of the money the public has given them until they find someone they deem worthy.
That's a lot to take in, so I understand if you need a moment to catch your breath and let all the juices marinate here. It's a very upsetting topic, with charitable causes turning out to be less than stellar, we'll say. It's always a very fucked up situation, but basically what is being claimed here from the completionist brother is that in the past, before OpenHand was registered, they donated body parts to the UCSF, and that's where that quote comes from. But like Carl mentions, that has nothing to do with OpenHand, so why would you be using that quote on OpenHand's website? It's very misleading to people. If I'm someone that's donating to OpenHand Foundation, and I'm seeing that quote, I'm assuming that this means the contributions are going to them. And here's them saying, you know, thanks for all the support. But that's just not the case here at all. The money's not going anywhere, and that quote does not apply to donations that they're receiving from OpenHand. And going a bit further, the completionist brother is saying that they did give money in the past before they were registered, which Carl says they can't confirm since it wasn't public. But he's saying they gave money in the past, they didn't like the progress, they thought it was insufficient, so now they're just waiting for the perfect partner, the perfect benefactor to give the money to now. And it's been 9 years and they still haven't found it. So it's just incompetence, not malice. It's more than incompetence, though. It'd be like full-blown negligence to the point where it's like borderline illegal. I don't even know it'd be borderline. I think it would be just like straight up illegal if they get audited and they find all of these like big red flags. You can't just have a charitable organization make all of these claims about where the money's going. On their website, they even list like a university that they say that they're one of like the historic funders of or something to that effect, even though they haven't donated any money to any of those causes or anything in general. Like it's all very, very bad sounding. I'm very curious to see what the completionist will say about it outside of the interview he did here. I would really like to hear more from him on exactly what the fuck is going on and why it's in that place. And even more so, I'd love to hear from the completionist on why he continues to do these fundraising events and make the claims that the money going here and there and over there, it's going there, and blah, even though the money's going nowhere. Why does he continue to mislead the audience into giving money under the belief that it's being sent to these different places when it's not?
If they've been looking for a beneficiary since 2014, why has Gerard been claiming they support organizations across the world, including the UCSF and the Alzheimer's Association?
We are raising money for dementia research in honor of my late mom, trying to help folks who've been impacted by dementia, working with organizations like USF, FTD Association of America, Alzheimer's Association of America, and so many more.
Why is he claiming the money is actually given to people who know how to use it?
And all that money goes to dementia research. We don't touch any of it. We just work with the people who do need the money, and we help them do their thing.
In this case, the negligence isn't hurting anyone. when I read things like that, like I just have to sit there and process it for a second. It takes a while to register just how you could actually believe that, like legitimately, or if you're just kidding. They've collected over $600,000 in donations from their community, normal people like you, like everyone in chat, donating under the idea, the belief, because they're being told that that money is being used to help against the battle, help in the battle against dementia. And it's not. It's just sitting in a bank account right now. So everyone who has donated money lost money, and it didn't go to the cause they thought it would. That they thought it would. That was the whole reason they donated the money, to go towards that cause, which it hasn't. It's been sitting there for 9 years. You see the British airline pilot that did cocaine off of a stripper before flight. That was probably the fastest flight in recorded aviation history. Those passengers got to their destination lickety-split. Just a very peculiar situation here, Jordan. Again, if you want, I just went over like the very basic. If you want to get into the weeds of it and really understand the situation, watch Mudahar's video or Carl's video covering this. They both go in depth, obviously, on all of it and talk about everything and exactly the implications and what's going on. And then I'm assuming the completionist will probably make some kind of public statement very soon because it is such a huge deal. And I'm very curious what exactly he's going to talk about. Because he was interviewed here, again. He did say his piece. It wasn't a very good piece, but I am curious where it goes from here. Again, I highly encourage all of you to watch Mudahar and Carl's video covering this subject for more information. There's just one other thing I want to briefly touch on here. For some reason, Muda and Carl were asked for recommendations on where they thought the money should go, and during the interview with the completionist Gerard, he was saying like, "I'll donate the money today. You just tell me where it should go." And that's so fucking weird. It's not their job to tell you where that money should go. It's your organization, and you have said where the money's supposed to be going and just haven't sent it there. So just to kind of repeat what Mudahar said, just send the money where you said it was going, like this whole time. It's that simple. They still have most of the funds, minus the 9 years or so of operational expenses they've incurred. So since that money is still just sitting there collecting cobwebs, it hasn't been like fucking thrown into, blackjack tables at the Hard Rock Casino or anything. It's still present. It hasn't just fucking poofed out of thin air and vanished. They can still donate that money to the causes they've said it's going to. Now, of course they should absolutely do that, but the question will always remain now, are they doing that because of this investigation that's put a lot of public pressure on them to do so? Or were they always going to do this at some point and this was just the final push they needed to finally get there? I'm not doing a good job of explaining the conundrum, but basically there's always going to be this doubt in the back of everyone's mind about their intentions regardless of what happens going forward. Was this charity from the very get-go designed to be a charitable fraud situation where they collect money from the audience, hold on to it for a really long time, and maybe gradually tap into it to use for their own expenses? Or maybe at some point they just take it all out for themselves and pocket it? Who knows now, because it's been 9 years and they still haven't donated a single dollar of what they've gathered. And I do think they are going to donate it now, but would they have if Mudahar and Carl didn't investigate this? Would they have ever donated this money if the investigation didn't happen? Who knows? Who's to say? Which is why it's always going to be this doubt in the back of people's mind on what actually was their goal with the foundation, if not to donate the money to the causes they said they were. This is super fucked up. I am extremely curious to see what the completionist is going to say about this going forward publicly. I'd really like to hear from his side a bit more on what exactly is going on. But it certainly doesn't look good, and this is a subject that really hits close to home for me. Many of you might remember for a long time I would donate all of the money I made on YouTube to various charities. Over time I realized a lot of the organizations that I was putting money into were not exactly the best and engaged in a lot of sketchy practices, and a lot of the money didn't go where they claimed it would. So charitable fraud is always something that I'm pretty passionate about. It's a really disgusting idea to take advantage of people's generosity and people's will to fight against something for the betterment of the people they care about, the rest of the world. Just taking advantage of people and exploiting their generosity is such a foul concept. And I really hope that's not what the goal of this organization was. I'm hoping this actually is just a case of them being not exactly prepared to run an organization with money of this caliber and just didn't know what to do with it or how best it could be used. I don't really know. There's not a whole lot of ways of looking at it positively, but yeah, I just had to go over this situation a bit because it's a pretty upsetting one. That's really it. So yeah. You're not going to believe this until I show you the proof, but the situation with Brandon, the guy who spent $62,000 on Ruby Rose's OnlyFans, actually gets so much worse and more sad and honestly just downright scary for Ruby Rose. I imagine she's considering getting like a really strong team of bodyguards, like trying to hire the fucking Justice League to protect her, because Brandon is unhinged now. And in the last video I made about this, he had met her in person and Ruby Rose chalked it up to being like, oh, what a coincidence, I bumped into my #1 spender on OnlyFans. Meanwhile, I'm quite sure Brandon cold calculated, tracked her down in order to just spontaneously run into her. So he's already showcased that he will find her in the real world if given the opportunity, I believe. And after what Ruby Rose posted today, if that happens again, I feel like there's no telling what he might do in the mental state that he appears to be in. It's fucking frightening. Let's just get into it. So Ruby Rose dropped this banger on Twitter today, "Tat my face on you so I know it's real." And it's a video of text messages between Brandon and her, and that's really not an accurate description because she does not engage in these text messages. It's just Brandon talking at her endlessly. And then another video of the tattoo Brandon got of Ruby Rose's face on his body. Now let's take a peek at the sacred texts here. Let's look at the documents. So right away, Brandon's name is saved in her phone as Brandon Weird OnlyFans Fan. And I think that is just beautiful. Dude has dumped $62,000 in a month on Ruby Rose's OnlyFans content, only to be known by his queen as the Weird OnlyFans guy. I think that is such a powerful lesson many people need to learn. And it's one that extends beyond OnlyFans. This extends to like streaming too. There are a lot of people that believe if they're donating money to someone, they're entitled to some kind of relationship with the recipient of their cash. Whether it's friendship or in this case, fucking marriage, lifelong soulmates. That's just not the reality of the situation. Now let's start reading the texts, and it's important to keep in mind that all of these happen over the course of about 48 hours. So really let that marinate in your noodle up there, because it is crazy how deranged this gets. So he starts by saying, "What are you doing tonight?" And then when he doesn't get a response in a timely enough fashion, he then comes around the next day saying, "Why aren't you answering me? I thought we had a genuine connection." And then the legendary quadruple text, "Ruby, why aren't you answering me? I have invested so much money into our relationship." Pause. So Brandon believes he can purchase a relationship like it's a microtransaction in an EA video game. Brandon dumping his piggy bank while squeezing his hog to Ruby Rose did not buy a relationship with her. And it didn't mean that she was destined or obligated to fall in love with him, which is a concept that Brandon just can't seem to grasp. The only thing he's able to grasp is his cock while watching his OnlyFans princess. This is some frightening delusion here. I imagine Ruby Rose was already a bit concerned when Brandon dumped 62 grand on her in a month. That seems like obsessive behavior, and nobody wants to be the center of an obsession. It's a horrible feeling, and frankly, it's downright dangerous. That's creepy shit, which is why she labeled him the Weird OnlyFans guy, I imagine. And now it seems she reluctantly gave him her number, and he is going crazy with it, further solidifying that he is an unhinged creep. He continues, "I am in love with you. Why won't you love me?" Jesus Christ, brother. And then he goes into like the longest speech I've ever read. I think he got this directly from the transcript of an anime. "I would do anything for you. I would fly anywhere to be with you. All that I can ever think of is you. There is not a single other person in the world as perfect as you are. You could be my queen and I be your king. I would give you anything you could ever wish for. We can even have a one-sided, open-ended relationship where you can do whatever you want as long as I know that at the end of the day, you come home to me and are only with me. I promise, I will treat you I will treat you better than anyone, Ruby. I love you with all of my heart. I've never felt this way about anyone. I want to marry you. I want to have a family with you. I want to only be with you. I would quit everything and give up everything just for you. I will do anything for you to love me. I will give you everything I have just for the chance that you never leave me. I want you to be with me forever. In my eyes, I've never seen or known something that I am so sure will be perfect. I can imagine waking up every day and looking over at you asleep on the bed looking perfect while you sleep, and I run my hands through your hair, or am I getting you the largest diamond ring that I can find so that it's on the hand of a true queen? I will buy you whatever car, boat, or jet you want. I will never love someone as much as I love you, Ruby. I love you more than Bitcoin. I only love you... I love you more than Bitcoin. Shit, he just won over my heart with that one. Wow, more than Bitcoin? Really, Brandon? What the fuck? That's a lot. That's a lot of love. I will give up everything to have you to only be mine. Please don't ignore me, Ruby. I am sending you more money right now. You are making me cry right now by not answering me. I am bawling at the thought, thinking that you won't be with me forever, and that you don't love me anymore. I don't know if there is a point anymore to anything. What the fuck do you mean you don't love me anymore? She never loved you in the first place. You have only ever creeped her out, clearly. All I can ever think of or dream of is you. You are on my mind all day, every day. Thinking of how you smelled in the hotel lobby when I first saw you. Thinking of your perfect voice. Thinking of your perfect smile when you first laughed awkwardly as I told you that I was your #1 fan. Everything about you makes me get butterflies in my stomach. Oh, it's making my fucking skin crawl reading this. This is, like, the most alarming text message I think I've ever fucking read. Without it just being, like, an overt threat, this is, like, the closest thing I've seen to just downright declaration of cringe, like, frightening obsession. Like, good God. So, it seems like Ruby Rose reluctantly gave Brandon her number when he somehow just magically bumped into her the other day. And this is how things are going. Clearly, these feelings aren't reciprocated because Ruby doesn't even know him, and he doesn't know her. He has an unhealthy obsession with her, and he's imagined this fantasy world of them getting married, and all he can think about is her. The obsession is very scary. As I mentioned in the last video, Brandon is a porn addict. He was on an entire TV show dedicated to his porn addiction. And it's clear he is still addicted to porn. And now he is obsessed with her. He actually has a mental illness that needs professional help, clearly. And this is just terrifying. Please tell me you're just very busy and not seeing my texts right now, princess. Please? I cherished every second I was with you. I adore you. You are the reason I wake up every morning. I have no purpose without you. You are my rock. Ruby? Ruby, stop ignoring me! Why are you ignoring me after all the money that I've given you to show you that I'm only loyal to you and how much I love and appreciate and adore you? How dare you not answer me? I see you actively posting on your Instagram story, and you have not answered me once. You are making me very mad. I have treated you like a princess, and you won't even take the time to respond to me. I will not tolerate this. So he's going full mask off here into his Batman supervillain origin story, and I can already just see him slamming his fist into his desk at the last part of that message. I will not tolerate this any longer. Notice how all of this is taking place over the course of hours, like a handful of hours. It's all one day to lead to this, spiraling into the deepest pits of hell with this fury that not even Lucifer could conjure, all because the OnlyFans model that he sends so much money to isn't in love with him and responding to his text messages. His very creepy text messages, mind you. It's not like he's just trying to have normal conversations. He's immediately opening with like, I love you. We need to get married. You are actually all I think about, all I dream about. You are literally my purpose. You are my fucking rock. I know I'm a stranger to you, but you are actually the only angel in my life. That you are the sun that shines for me. And I'm looking at the sun and it's not burning my eyes. It's opening them. Luckily, Jekyll comes back out and he puts Mr. Hyde away, and, you know, he's very apologetic for his outburst. It was highly unprofessional and ridiculous, actually. Which, again, this is not uncharacteristic of someone with an obsession. These violent mood swings and all of this anger, obsessions are a horrible thing. And this is clearly an obsession. So, He says, I am sorry for getting mad at you. I did not mean to. I shouldn't have, but the love I have for you causes me to get very emotional, especially about you. I love you so much, Ruby. You're my world, my rock, my queen, my everything. There's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you the happiest little princess in the world. I promise that I love you, and only you, for you. Wait, I promise that I love you, and only you, for you. It's like a fucking riddle. What is that? That's like some kind of gotcha moment that Gollum would have used on Frodo Baggins. I don't understand. But anyway, I don't care about your followers, your fans, your money. I only want you. Oh, wait, I get it. He's saying I only love you for you, as in like her personality. Like I don't care about any of the other stuff. I love you for you, babe. Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. Oh, and they say chivalry's dead. Wow. What a heart melter. You're the best thing that ever has happened to me. I know that we only met for 5 minutes and that you had to leave, but I have cherished it so much I cannot stop thinking about it and you. You were magnificent. It was almost like it was out of a movie when I first saw you come down the elevator with your perfect smooth hair, your perfect clear skin, your beautiful smile and eyes. I would never change a thing about you. I only want you forever, my queen. You'll be the only thing and all that I need to be happy. You become my sole purpose in life. Baby. It's so over the top that it almost seems satirical, like it's supposed to be a parody of an obsessed stalker for an OnlyFans model. But I really think this is genuine, not only because he gets a tattoo, and I'm pretty sure it's a real tattoo, but also just knowing Brandon's history, where he is legitimately a porn addict, and even had a whole show episode dedicated to it. So I really do think this is all genuine here, and that is very alarming. But for just a moment, let's go ahead and play with the idea that this is all fake. What would be the purpose? I suppose if this is all like a coordinated effort between Ruby Rose and Brandon, it could be used to try and drive traffic to Ruby Rose's OnlyFans, perhaps. But I still think that's a bit unrealistic because I don't think anyone would ever agree to play this role, and I don't necessarily see this leading to a lot of new OnlyFans signups, because if anything, it highlights the danger of it to a certain extent. So I don't think it'd be a successful marketing campaign if this is all fake and that's the purpose. Please, answer me, my queen. Please don't leave me. I adore you, Ruby. You are all I need to be whole in life. I will never leave you or even look in the same direction of another girl. I want to marry you. And then he sends another 30,000. I even spent 30,000 more on you since we met because I thought we had something genuine and real. Like, it's so crazy. What do you mean? If it's genuine and real, you wouldn't have spent $92,000 on it. It would have been free. It would have been a real, genuine experience, not like a fucking transactional one. And you didn't even get an experience. You met her for fucking 5 minutes when you bumped into her, which, again, I know you schemed and planned for that. You absolutely, I'm imagining him on, stakeouts and shit, in an unmarked vehicle, kind of following her around, getting her schedule, and then, waiting for the right moment to bump into her. I will empty my bank account just to be with you. I will travel across the country just to randomly run into you again. I will never be over you. You are the love of my life. My perfect little princess, you are stunning. You are my breath of fresh air in a world that is so dark and cold. You are the sun to my thunderstorm, the spurt of luck in my day, the pot of lucky gold at the end of the rainbow. You are my everything in this life. That has to be the worst written line in the history of humanity. That is the worst romance line that has ever been fucking put to paper. Well, put to text. That's worse than 50 Shades of Grey writing with the sodden panties and the I don't make love, I fuck hard. That, what he just said there, that whole sentence is nauseating. And I wish nothing more than to spend the rest of my life with you. I can spend all of my money and be homeless just to wake up every day knowing that you are happy. I can watch you have sexual actions with other men just to pleasure your sexual needs. I can be your sissy boy and let you boss me around while I do whatever you demand of me in my sissy maid outfit. I will do anything at any cost just to make you happy and just to be in the same room that you're breathing in. I have an obsession with you since the day I first saw you on Instagram. Ever since that day, I have made it my life mission to one day have the chance to see you. I'm going to skip a couple of chapters here, 6 paragraphs worth of more, fucking vomit from his mouth, and go to this. I will send you 10 Bitcoin right now if you answer me. That's worth almost 400 grand. All you have to do is respond to me with one word, Ruby. Please, I need your attention. I need to make sure that my kitten is safe. He's actually trying to bribe her again. Look, 400 grand for you to say anything to me. And actually, doesn't even need to say anything. He goes down and says, All you have to do is just react to one of my messages. Please, I beg you, I cannot think of life without you. So all she has to do for 400 grand is just react to one of them. It could be like the laughing crying emoji or something, like how cringe all of it is, and he would then give her 400 grand. Holy shit. That is so fucking pathetic. Now, I'm skipping around again here, but then he sends her pictures that he's in a tattoo parlor saying he has a surprise for her, and then sends pictures of the tattoo being done and then the finished work as well. That, to me, does seem like a real tattoo. I don't think that's one of the fake temporary ones, but it's kind of hard to confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt, like 100% it's real. Like in the pictures, like it seems like there's not a lot of redness there, which every tattoo I've ever had quite a bit of redness around there and like some blood still oozing out. In the pictures, I can't really see that, but it's also possible that it's just been wiped away. And in the videos showing the process, it does seem like he's actually getting a real tattoo. So I'm leaning more on the side of this all being true and not just like fake or some kind of scam or anything. And that's scary. Like this whole situation is fucking frightening to see the inner workings of an obsession. And his behavior isn't even unusual for obsessed people. Like, this is why it's so dangerous. These fucking violent mood swings, this outrage, it's a terrible situation. It's a legitimate mental illness. It's really sad. It's actually sad, and he needs to get professional help for it. He has a porn addiction, and has had a porn addiction since at least 2009, and now an obsession with Ruby Rose and her OnlyFans content. This is an individual who needs legitimate professional help. And Ruby Rose needs to actually make sure that she is as far away from this guy as possible. Like, she's going to probably need security to ensure that Brandon doesn't get anywhere near the premises that she's around. Because this guy does not seem to be in his right mind. So, just wanted to give you an update to this story because it's a fucking wild one. That's about it. See ya.